Brandon, are we all good? Can everybody hear me? We're good to go? Thumbs up. Hi. Thanks so much for joining us today for our 7th installment of Inside Atomic Modular Systems. Today, we're going to be talking about how to use color with atomic modular systems to get your perfect palette. It's not working. There we go. My name is Brendan O'Donnell. I'm a senior account manager here at Atomic with Modular Systems. My professional background is in theater, going way back to 1988, if you can believe it, when I started working as a child actor at the ripe old age of 8. I later transitioned to a behind-the-scenes role here at Atomic in 2003. Hopefully, if you're watching this, we've worked together on a project since then. Hopefully, if not, hopefully we will soon. If you're not familiar with atomic modular systems, we offer completely modular, infinitely configurable scenic pieces for rental, lease, or permanent installation. If you have any questions today during our talk, my fellow senior account manager and good pal Brandon Cardenas will be moderating for us. If you have any questions, please ask them in the chat, and Brandon will help me answer them for you. As I mentioned, this is our 7th in our series of Inside Atomic Modular Systems. If you'd like to see any of the previous installments, please go to our YouTube page where we have all of them posted. Alrighty, on to the meat of it. We're here today to talk about color and how to use it with atomic modular systems. As a way of keeping this interesting, and because today is all about color, the first person and only the first person to correctly guess my personal favorite color will receive a 30% discount on their next rental. I'll give you 3 clues throughout our talk today. Please submit your single guess in the chat, and Brandon will let us know who got it first. First clue, it is not a primary color. Okay, today we're going to discuss the 2 major ways to incorporate color using atomic modular systems, lighting and printing. The first, and by far the most popular way, and affordable way, is by lighting the goods. Atomic does not provide any sort of lighting, so this would either need to come from you or the lighting team that you hire. While we don't provide the actual lights needed for this, we do provide pieces that are designed to light well and easily. Atomic offers our pieces in extremely neutral colors to make lighting them as easy as possible. The vast majority of our goods come in one of 3 colors in order of prevalence. We offer light gray. Popular examples of this would be our entire super lever line, pieces like Chads, Chiclets, and Fizz. Here's one of our newest panels, the scallops used as a super wall. Super wall are freestanding pieces up to 13 foot 3 inches high in most cases, and you can see how easily these pieces light. Here are our orbits, another new piece, in a simple single-planed hanging configuration. Protons here, backed with Frosty, offer a clean, glowing look. This is another setup for protons, partnered with Frosty again. Flow, again, backed with Frosty in a super column setup this time. These are our pockets. You can see here, because of these pieces being light gray, just how receptive to light they are. The red and the green lights, very simply pointed in 2 opposite directions, make this really cool gradient look. These are our blockums. Both the upstage plane and the downstage plane of this super wall setup are the same light gray material. You can see how much color variation and distinction you can achieve with these. Chiclets here in light gray. This is one of our most tried and true pieces, great for adding a little dimension to any set. These are our pyramids and triads, all immediately backed with Frosty. You may have noticed that Frosty have come up a lot during this section. These are a great accessory piece that sort of back our pieces, and they can be used to get a rich color saturation and sort of a glowing look like you see here. This is one of my personal favorites, the explodes. Hives here. I really dig this picture because it illustrates how, because of the piece's dimension and color, you can easily get a bunch of distinct colors with relatively simple lighting. Very similar idea here with our fast wall, which is another freestanding system. Specifically, these are the mantis pieces from our fast wall line. Our second most prevalent color that we offer in modular systems is white. This is ideal for lighting for obvious reasons. Examples of white would be wafers, gossamers, and Bianca Rosa. This is our newest hanging banner panel, the Freeze. These are our Cirrus Super Zipper panels, shown here with a very simple blue uplighting. You can see how when lighting these, you really get a lot of mileage out of very few lights on the stage. This is another banner panel, the parquet. These are our gossamers configured in two ways. On the left, you can see them set up as a backdrop. These are hung horizontally at 15 feet high by 30 feet wide. And on the right, you can see them hung vertically as individual hanging modular pieces at 30 feet high by 5 feet wide. These pieces are only 3 inches deep, but you can see how dynamically you can light them by simply mixing colors. And here are some of our mini Gauss, a smaller version of what we just saw. These are the mini Gauss super columns lit in a single color. You can really see the great saturation you can get with light on these pieces. These are some of our Cirrus Super Zipper panels as the hanging backdrop for this event. These are our Buell pieces in the background and our pleated columns hanging at various depths on the stage. Hopefully some of you have worked with our wafer walls, which are pictured here. These are sort of the great grandfather of the atomic modular systems. A clean white dimensional piece that works in almost any setting, super easy to light and super easy to hang. Okay, here's my favorite color clue number 2. It is on the screen right now. Give you a couple seconds to look. 3, 2, 1. Okay, our honeycomb pieces are pictured here. Another piece that is extremely receptive to color, as you can see. Our third most common off-the-shelf color is dark gray or silver. Pieces from this line include the cappuccinos, the dunes, and the pillow walls. Pictured here is our laser cloth and a mirror and a material called mirror organdy. You can see how the light and the material combine to make sort of a metallic look. The pillow walls pictured here might be our most senior product in the entire rental line. Simple gray metal screen with some atomic magic, and you have this awesome, easily manipulated piece. Here's a closer shot of the pillow walls. These are our Zen pieces and our udons, both made of the same gray spandex material, awesome for receiving color. Another shot of the udon seen here. The laser cloth is once again in the background here, but the downstage drapery is our cappuccino line, which comes in swags and legs. The cappuccino is what I would describe as like a gunmetal gray if it's under natural light, but you can see how receptive it is to color right here. Here are the cappuccino drapes again. These are our wedge pieces from our Fablock line. These work very similarly to all of our super lever panels, but the connectors are hidden with the Fablock line to make sort of a cleaner look. This is our silver cell cloth in the background here. Another great example of how when lighting hits our goods, it really pops. And these are our pinwheel panels that someone did a fantastic job lighting. Most of our pieces are easy enough to uplight from the ground using good, strong LEDs. In some cases, like the super walls and the super columns, for example, you will need to use smaller lights like color blasts or parkans due to space restrictions within the wall or column. Otherwise, lighting our stuff is pretty simple. If you have any questions about lighting, please feel free to reach out to any of the account managers. While we're not experts by any means, we can certainly help point you in the right direction. We do offer some pieces that are black, but of course, those are not ideal for incorporating color. We have many more offerings than what I could talk about here today, so please take a look around the website and see if any product jumps out at you. The other way that Atomic can provide a splash of color to your show is by printing. This can be a much more simple process than you would think. Just look through our catalog of super lever panels, pick one that you like, and let us know what color you would like it to be. We can either match a Pantone color that you provide to us. We can do our best to dial into the color that you need via a proofing process, or we can produce the panels in a primary color. While this can be costly up front, they're $100 per 22.5-inch square panel. Cost saving in the long run can be significant when you consider that you don't need lighting, that these pieces can be used in daylight settings, and that you can potentially get the exact color that your client is looking for. Here are a couple of pictures of our colored panels that we've made for clients in the past. Shown here are our gold Zedits. The Zedits are a very deep panel. They're a foot deep, but we were able to produce these in gold as seen here. We have a bunch of these in stock now, so feel free to ask about them on your next show. To that point, Atomic does own a small amount of colored super lever panels that were made for other shows. If you just want a splash of color and you don't really care what the color is, please reach out to your account manager and we can let you know what's available during the time of your show. These are blue combs and propanes that we made for our friends at Robinhood for a kickoff event of theirs. Here are some of the Fablock knots that we produced in yellow for a show of our own. And this is a rendering, of course, but it shows a really good example of how even our most simple pieces, plain squares in this case, can really stand out when you add a little bit of color. These are custom colored vinyl stickers applied to our chiclets. Great pop of color, pretty simple to do. There are some important things to note when considering printing custom colored panels. Firstly, Atomic needs approximately 1 month prior to the load-in date of your show to produce the custom colored panels. Secondly, please let us know if these panels need to be a color on both sides. This will affect the price. These are going to come on a substrate that's either white or gray in most cases. So if you needed, both sides to be green or one side to be green, one side to be red, we need to know that ahead of time, and it will affect the pricing. Thirdly, unlike our other custom panels, with like logos and stuff like that, custom colored Atomic panels are not yours or the client's to keep. They will need to be returned to Atomic. That just about covers how you can incorporate color using Atomic goods. At this time, I'll check in with my good buddy, Brandon Cardenas, to see if there are any questions that came up. Again, if you can write your questions in the chat section of Teams, or if you can raise your hand, my trusted moderator, Brandon, can help you out. Also, now would be a great time to submit your single guess for my favorite color for a 30% discount off of your next Atomic Modular Systems rental order. The final clue, it starts with the letter V. Let me check in with Brandon and see what we have here. Do we have any questions that have come up yet?
No questions as of right now, Brandon, but it looks like Tim Christman at Huey's has the hot hand and the good guess of violet as your favorite color.
Hey,
So congratulations to you, Tim.
Way to go. Yeah, so be sure to mention that to myself. I think we know each other, Tim, or your account manager for a 30% discount off of your next rental order. Thanks for playing. Anything else come up yet, Brandon?
Nothing, folks. If you have questions, please let us know. We're happy to help.
Yeah, we'll check in right at the end here, but that just about covers how to incorporate color using Atomic goods. Our next Inside Atomic Modular Systems will be next month, featuring our beloved Rachel Finn discussing the poppies. Please join us for that. I'm guessing that by virtue of you being here with us today, you're on our email list already. If not, please scan the QR code on your screen to be added to the list. Brandon, I'm looking your way.
So we do have a question.
Okay,
the question
super.
is, I have a vendor that does some Encore branding in a brochure. Are we able to do that?
Encore branding. Yeah, if we have the Pantone color, or I don't know what you're trying to produce specifically, but graphics files as like an EPS or an AI or any sort of vector file, we can produce almost any image onto our custom panels. If there's nothing else, we can move on. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've been Brendan. Please reach out to us with anything that you may need. Thanks so much.